Welcome! In today's video, we're diving deep into a world where the boundary between indoors and outdoors disappears. A world where kitchens breathe, where meals are made not just with ingredients, but with atmosphere, emotion, and the beauty of nature all around. This is about rethinking what a kitchen can be, envisioning it not as a room behind walls, but as a living, breathing part of the garden. Imagine walking outside in the early morning light. The air is fresh, touched with the scent of earth and citrus, and the sky is glowing softly. Ahead of you is your kitchen, not enclosed, not confined, but open to the sounds of nature, the warmth of the sun, and the texture of the world around you. This is more than a functional space. It's where the design meets emotion. Every surface is intentional. Every object, from the ceramic bowl to the aged wooden spoon, adds depth. Even the smallest detail, a folded linen cloth or a clay container filled with fresh basil, becomes part of a larger story. This outdoor kitchen isn't simply placed within the garden. It belongs there. It's surrounded by greenery, lush, layered, organic. Planters overflow with rosemary, thyme, and mint. A vertical garden rises on one side, climbing ivy interlaced with tiny edible flowers. The countertops? Textured stone, warm to the touch, reflecting the morning light. Along one edge, a row of utensils hangs neatly. Wooden spatulas, ladles with iron handles, whisks and sieves with smooth lines. Practical, yes, but beautiful too. Functional art, seamlessly integrated. A wide pergola hovers overhead, beams dappled in shadow from the climbing plants that wind around them. The flooring is a mix of terracotta and hand-laid ceramic tiles, patterned subtly, guiding your steps as you move across the space. There's an island at the center, thick, grounded, made from local stone, and it's surrounded by stools that invite conversation. This isn't just a space for preparing meals. It's a space for living, for pausing, for gathering, for remembering. As you reach for a copper pan, the soft clink echoes into the open air. The sound is gentle, unobtrusive, layered with the rustle of leaves and the distant hum of insects. There's no mechanical noise here, no artificial buzz. Even the lighting is natural. And as the day moves, so does the light. Morning gives way to afternoon glow, and by evening, string lights weave overhead, softening everything into a golden hush. Hanging lanterns, reclaimed glass vessels filled with candlelight, and warm reflections off of polished ceramic decor create a cozy ambiance, perfect for twilight cooking. Let's walk through another vision now, one where the outdoor kitchen wraps around a small pond, its edge softened with long grass and ceramic pots filled with blooming flowers. The kitchen counter curves gently, hugging the shape of the garden, creating a sense of intimacy and calm. Utensils rest in carved stone holders, and open shelving is filled with bowls that bear the hand of the maker, each one slightly different, each one full of personality. On the shelves, stacks of hand-glazed plates, terracotta jugs of oil, a bowl of fresh figs, a jar of pickled lemons. Nothing is here by accident. In the corner, a built-in wood oven anchors the space, its surface painted in a textured neutral tone, blending into the natural palette of stones, greens, and browns. Above it, a timber beam holds a series of hooks, a ladle, a spatula, a small colander, all worn and warm, ready for use. Not far from this, a shallow basin sink is carved into the stone, with a brass spout that arcs gracefully, delivering a quiet stream of water. A woven towel hangs nearby. Practicality, yes, but also elegance in every line. These spaces are not simply styled, they're layered with intention. There is a sense of quiet luxury, not loud or imposing, but present in every choice. The cabinetry is often made from natural materials, unfinished wood with visible grain, surfaces that invite touch. The storage is never purely concealed. Instead, display becomes part of the design. Jars of grains, pasta, spices, all arranged with care. A chopping board made from olive wood sits ready beside a mortar and pestle. A small clay bowl holds garlic cloves, their papery skins curling softly. The connection to the garden is constant. One step from the kitchen, you're among citrus trees. Another, and you're touching a wall of herbs, planted not just for convenience, but for atmosphere. Scent becomes part of the experience. You don't have to imagine the aroma of basil. It's right there. You brush past it as you move, its freshness on your fingertips. Lavender grows nearby, rosemary lines the path, and the scent of tomato vines hangs in the heat of the sun. But there's space here too. Nothing is crowded. These kitchens are designed to breathe, to allow movement. The space around the cooking area is intentional. Perhaps there's a dining zone set slightly apart, an open table under a pergola with soft linen napkins and ceramic pitchers for water or wine. Or maybe there's a bench near the edge, designed for reflection, for watching the sun rise while the kettle boils. Every area within the kitchen has its own purpose and personality. In some designs, the garden almost becomes the structure. Vines take the place of walls. A tree canopy offers shade. There's no hard line between the built and the grown. And that's the magic. A sink carved from natural stone feels like part of the land. A reclaimed wood countertop holds a bowl of lemons just picked. Nearby, a small vertical garden grows salad greens, reaching up the wall with purpose. And the details, always the details. Lanterns filled with sand and candles, ceramic figurines tucked between pots, hanging wind chimes that sing with the breeze, textured linens draped across counters, artfully arranged cutting boards and decorative trays. A fruit basket made of woven fiber, its curves echoing the leaves nearby. It's the layering of these elements that makes each kitchen more than a space. It makes it a story. As the light shifts, the space transforms. In the golden hour, the kitchen becomes a theater of shadows and glow. Ceramic surfaces glisten. Hanging utensils catch the light and reflect it in quiet arcs. The tiles on the floor shimmer faintly, and even the plants take on a deeper hue. This is a space that evolves with time. It is never static. Just as nature changes with the day, so too does the kitchen. Now imagine stepping into a kitchen where minimal forms meet the abundance of life. Clean lines, yes, but softened with foliage. A single long countertop stretches outward, flanked by open shelves and vertical planters. Instead of upper cabinets, there are trellises. Instead of drawers, open niches carved into stone. Even the seating, a series of built-in benches around the edges, is integrated into the landscaping. And it's not just about how it looks, it's about how it feels. There's a rhythm to working in a space like this. You move with the light. You adjust as the shadows fall. Cooking becomes intuitive. You reach for a handful of thyme growing beside you. You rinse a tomato under the stone spout. You slice, stir, serve. All in a space that supports you, that inspires you. These kitchens celebrate seasonality. You're in tune with the climate, with the cycle of plants, with the rhythm of outdoor living. In summer, there's shade and airflow. In cooler months, there's warmth from fire features or the sunlit surfaces. You adapt. You open wide. You layer textiles. You embrace the imperfection of nature, the changing tones, the growing vines. You might find soft drapery hanging from a beam to create gentle divisions, or a clay water jug with a hand-painted design, placed under a spout to collect fresh flow. Utensils are not hidden, they are displayed. Brass ladles, stone pestles, bamboo tongs, all with character. The storage is open, inviting, functional. Every object is meant to be used, but also seen, appreciated, remembered. Even the cooking tools reflect this harmony. Hand-forged knives with wooden handles, cast iron skillets worn from years of use, clay pots that crackle softly when warmed. You find beauty in function. A wooden spoon is not just a tool, it's a companion in the act of cooking. It carries with it the weight of memory, of shared meals, of quiet mornings and laughter-filled evenings. The surfaces themselves speak. Polished concrete with embedded stone flecks, live-edge wood counters that retain the bark's outline, glazed ceramic tiles in muted earthy tones, and at the center, always, a point of connection, perhaps a small fire pit built into the side, or a grill made from stone and steel framed by herbs, or even just a large shared table where everyone gathers, eats, shares, stays. This is not a space you pass through. It's a space you live in, a space where meals take time, where tools are chosen with care, where design listens to nature instead of trying to control it, where you're encouraged to slow down, to observe the sky, to follow the scent of citrus or the sound of rustling bamboo. And throughout it all, the greenery remains constant. Tall grasses swaying, succulents nestled into cracks in the stone, hanging ferns casting soft shadows, ceramic planters clustered around each corner, filled with color, texture, and life. This isn't just decor. It's the heartbeat of the kitchen. The plants feed you, cool the air, soothe the senses. As the evening settles in, something magical begins to happen. The space transforms again, not by removing or replacing anything, but simply by shifting how it feels. The sun dips lower, shadows stretch, and the light takes on a soft amber tone. The glow from hanging lanterns, from candles tucked into niches, begins to bloom. You can hear the faint trickle of water from a small fountain in the background, a gentle, continuous sound that adds texture to the quiet. The air becomes cooler, and yet the space feels warmer. A cluster of ceramic tea lights flickers along the stone ledge. A soft breeze moves the linen drapes ever so slightly. And even now, the kitchen is still alive. A clay bowl is half full of chopped vegetables. A breadboard rests beside a knife, crusts dusted with flour. There's a woven tray with a carafe of wine and 2 glasses, catching the last glint of sunlight before dusk fully arrives. These are not staged vignettes. They're real, lived in, and comfortable. The decor, like the greenery, adapts to the time of day. Never static, never forced. And then comes the night. But this isn't the kind of night that isolates. It envelops. It invites you to stay, to settle deeper into the softness of the space. A gentle spotlight under the shelves glows against glass jars. Copper and brass catch the light like jewelry. The ceramic tiles feel warmer underfoot, holding on to the heat of the day. The space invites slower movement. Maybe someone hums as they stir a pot. Maybe there's laughter from the table, where friends have gathered, casual and effortless, as though the kitchen was always meant to be part of the evening. Because it was. And that's what makes these kitchens so unique. They're not only about aesthetics, they're about rhythm. They follow the natural progression of the day, of the season, of your own energy. You wake with the space. You cook with it, share with it, rest in it. And when it's time, it quietly welcomes the night with you. This isn't about perfection. The wall might have a crack that's filled with moss. The wooden shelf might be weathered. The ceramic pot might be slightly chipped. But that's the beauty. The imperfection is the personality. These kitchens don't try to erase the mark of time. They welcome it. They wear it with ease. Let's look again at the details, the ones that often go unnoticed but shape everything. Hanging woven baskets that double as storage and decoration. Herb bundles tied with twine, hanging upside down to dry. A collection of mismatched cutting boards leaning against the wall, their surfaces marked by years of use. A small vase with a single flower from the garden tucked into a corner shelf. These aren't accessories. They're the soul of the space, and everything has its place. Utensils rest on a clay holder by the stove. Mortars sit proudly, their surfaces smooth from use. A rolling pin leans against the island. And always nearby, greenery. Mint in a ceramic pot. Lemongrass growing in a planter. A vertical garden blooming with life. Even a cluster of climbing plants trailing up the side of a chimney or an oven column. Nothing is ornamental for the sake of it. It all breathes with purpose. This kind of space doesn't need artificial division. The lines are blurred on purpose. You might find a bench seat carved from stone, built into the edge of a raised garden bed. Above it, hanging planters spill over with green. It's a place to sit, to chop, to serve, to pause. Maybe a child runs barefoot across the tiles. Maybe a dog curls up in the corner, warmed by the last of the sun. This kitchen belongs to the life that surrounds it. And while the materials are humble, stone, wood, ceramic, metal, together they become something elevated. Not flashy, not trendy, but timeless. These kitchens aren't designed to impress a guest for a moment. They're designed to linger in your memory, to live with you through seasons, through meals, through change. Sometimes the most beautiful corner is the most unexpected. A nook in the wall filled with cookbooks, their pages marked and stained. A small sink under a tree, where water flows into a basin of carved stone. A shelf lined with jars of spices, their colors vibrant in the setting sun. Or even the smallest tile, a square of hand-painted ceramic, tucked into a larger design, that catches your eye and holds it. The outdoor kitchen becomes a reflection of you, and not in a curated perfect way, but in a living, breathing, grounded way. You bring the life to it. The personality comes from your routines, your herbs, your baskets, your bowls, your stories. Let's picture a more expansive layout now. A wide open terrace with zones gently defined not by walls, but by texture. The cooking area has clay tile underfoot, warm and earthy. The dining area shifts to natural wood decking. And just beyond, a seating area with a stone floor embedded with ceramic detail. You move through these spaces fluidly. Each area has a purpose, but none are boxed in. There's a sense of flow, of openness. A meal begins with picking herbs. Then maybe you move to the sink to wash produce, rinse your hands. To the counter to chop and stir. A grill warms up beside you. The oven is nearby. Someone sets the table. Another lights the lanterns. Everything is intuitive, rhythmic, layered. The elements don't compete. The greenery complements the stone. The utensils echo the lines of the shelving. The ceramics reflect the shape of the garden beds. The structure of the kitchen is softened by climbing vines, by the cascading leaves of potted plants, by the slow dance of linen curtains in the wind. Even the tools become part of the design. A row of knives held by a magnetic wood strip, a hanging rail with cast iron pans, woven trivets hung like art, wooden bowls that are beautiful whether filled or empty. Every choice is deliberate, not ostentatious, just right, just enough, and always open to change. Over time, this space evolves. Plants grow, patinas form, surfaces weather, but instead of needing to be redone, they deepen. They become more yours. You remember the moment a crack appeared in the tile because someone dropped a peach. You remember the stain on the counter from your favorite pesto. You remember the candle wax that dripped during a late-night conversation and never got cleaned up. These are not flaws. These are memories made visible. In these outdoor kitchens, time slows. You begin to notice the way the light shifts through the leaves, the way steam curls up from a pot and catches the wind, the texture of a linen cloth in your hand, the chill of stone underfoot in the morning, the scent of tomatoes warmed by the sun. Cooking becomes an act of presence. And while the space feels expansive and luxurious, it doesn't have to be large. Even a modest corner framed by green, supported by thoughtful choices, can feel like a sanctuary. It's about intention, connection, openness, and grace. The kitchen becomes a place of nourishment in every sense. You're not just feeding your body here, you're feeding your senses, your spirit. You're engaging with the world in a tangible, beautiful way. You're reminded that food is not just sustenance, it's an experience. One that begins long before the first ingredient is chopped. You might light a candle, pour a drink, crush herbs with your fingers, taste the salt, feel the breeze, listen to the sound of olive oil hitting a hot pan, watch the garden sway. This is not rushed, this is not rigid, this is freedom, depth, soul. So as you begin to design or rediscover your own outdoor kitchen, remember this. It doesn't need to be perfect, it needs to be yours. Build it with materials that ground you, furnish it with objects that speak to you, fill it with plants that grow wild, freely. Allow it to change. Allow yourself to change with it. Let it become a place of rhythm, of beauty, of rest. And most of all, let it be real. As days pass and seasons shift, so does the mood of the outdoor kitchen. It's never a static environment. The subtle variations in light, temperature, scent, and color bring new expressions every time you step into it. In the spring, the garden around it starts to hum again. Tiny green shoots break through the soil, vertical planters fill with fresh herbs, and flowering vines begin their slow reach across wooden beams and trellises. The kitchen, in response, welcomes lighter textures, pale ceramic serving dishes, linen napkins that ripple gently in the breeze, and bowls filled with citrus and berries. You find yourself gravitating to different corners depending on the weather and time of day. On cooler mornings, the far end of the kitchen that catches the first light becomes your sanctuary. With a warm drink in hand, sitting on a low stone bench draped with soft cushions, you take a moment to observe the day beginning. The breeze carries the earthy scent of the garden soil mixed with rosemary and mint. A small shelf built into the kitchen wall holds your morning essentials. Hand-thrown mugs, a little bowl of honey, a jar of dried lavender leaves. This isn't just a kitchen, it's a lifestyle, one that teaches you how to move slowly and live deeply. Thank you for spending this time with us. We hope this vision has sparked something within you, an idea, a memory, a feeling. May your future meals be rich with flavor and feeling. May your kitchen grow wild with life. And may you always find yourself at home in the beauty of the in-between spaces where nature meets design. We'll see you next time. If you found this video helpful or inspiring, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Interior Blockchain Studio for more expert design ideas, trends, and creative inspiration. Your support helps us bring you even more amazing content, so make sure to turn on notifications and stay updated with our latest uploads. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.